All right, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to just talk about everything I know about nutrition. A lot of beginner stuff here, low level stuff, and yeah, let's get into it. So we'll start with macronutrients. Got something on my beard here. If you hear people talk about macros, that simply means macronutrients. Macro meaning large. These are the large nutrients as opposed to micronutrients like vitamins and minerals. So macronutrients are measured in grams. We have X amount of grams of macronutrients per day. Micronutrients, usually in milligrams. So the macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fat, sometimes fiber and alcohol. So protein and carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram of the protein or fat, or carbs. Whereas fat has 9 calories per gram. Okay, so fat is more calorie dense than carbs and protein. Alcohol is 7 calories per gram, and then fiber is like 1.5 or 2. So that is your macros, your macronutrients. When you hear people talking about counting their macros, that's what they're talking about. They track their food in a food diary, like MyFitnessPal, the app, or Cronometer, another free app. And you track it on your phone, you enter in your food, and then it tells you how many calories you had that day, as well as your macros, how much protein, carbs, and fats. So this is a great approach to tracking your food. Tracking your food is a great approach to dieting or eating, however you want to say it, because it allows you flexibility. I have another video on flexible dieting, which is a dieting approach. And dieting, not necessarily to lose weight. Dieting could be to lose weight, to gain weight, to keep your same weight. But often weight loss is the goal. So anyways, flexible dieting is an approach to dieting that allows you to eat basically whatever you want, as long as you are within a calorie goal and a macronutrient goal. So like for my clients, I'll say like, okay, you could have say 2,000 calories per day, and let's say 150 grams of protein, okay, for a 150 pound person. And as long as you are within those those goals, so generally around 2,000 calories, around 150 grams of protein, then you can kind of eat whatever you want. Obviously, if you're eating healthy foods, it's going to be better for many reasons, including satiety, performance in the gym, just overall health, because you could get 2,000 calories from Twinkies and just like liquid protein shakes. Nothing wrong with a protein shake, by the way, but if you do that, you're probably going to be hungry, because another aspect of nutrition is, if you're trying to lose weight, do not drink your calories, okay? So there's a quick, easy tip for you guys. If you're trying to lose weight, stop drinking your calories, especially soda. Soda's just no-brainer. Just don't drink soda, replace it with diet soda. Diet soda is totally fine. Nothing wrong with diet soda. I drink diet soda when I'm cutting meaning losing weight. And I don't know, it's tasty. Just watch your caffeine intake at night. So get a caffeine-free diet soda if you're drinking at night. Diet soda doesn't have a lot of caffeine, but it has a little bit. And just watch your caffeine at night. Because sleep is also very important for weight loss, health, all that. Kind of getting off track here, the nutrition thing, but sleep is a game changer. Just the more sleep you get, the easier it's going to be to eat healthy foods, stick to your macros. You'll have more energy for workouts, more energy for decisions. You will feel better. Don't skip your sleep. So I would generally recommend not waking up early, like earlier than you need to work out. You know, there's this whole, thing about being hardcore, waking up early, and waking up early is great, but only if you get enough sleep. So if you have a choice between sleeping in and getting up earlier and exercising, I would generally choose sleeping in, unless that's like your only time you can get a workout in. Anyways, tangent there. Back to nutrition. So yeah, track your macros. Download MyFitnessPal or Cronometer. Cronometer shows your micronutrients as well. So your vitamins, your minerals, which is cool. You You can see if you have any deficiencies, like something like B12 is a common one. People are sometimes deficient in that. Chronometer will show you your micronutrients. MyFitnessPal will not, but MyFitnessPal is great for a number of reasons. Huge food library, same with Chronometer. They're both free. For my clients, I use MyFitnessPal because it integrates with the app that we use for training. But yeah, download download MyFitnessPal, and just start tracking your food. It's not that difficult. It's a little tricky at first. Well, I wouldn't say tricky. It's just a new habit, and just get used to it. And MyFitnessPal makes it easy because you can repeat foods. You can, if you have like the same thing every day, which I do, it's easy to do there. You can create meals, but basically you enter in the food, and then it automatically shows you how much protein, carbs, and fats are in the food. And then for the end of the day, it'll show you your total calories, your total carbs, fats, and protein. So yeah, I would certainly suggest eating healthy foods for most of the time. Whole foods, single ingredient foods, potatoes, oats, rice, chicken, eggs, steak, Greek yogurt, avocados, vegetables, fruits, the foods are healthy. These will help you stay fuller, because say you have 300 calories of carbs. If you have 300 calories of pasta, that is not going to fill you up as much as 300 calories of oats or 300 calories of my favorite, potatoes. So even though it's 300 calories of carbs, the whole foods are going to have often more fiber, fewer, sometimes a little less fat, depending on the thing, but more fiber will just keep you fuller. So we all know which foods are healthy, eat those and track your macros. So that is a little introduction to nutrition, calories, macros. So if you want to lose weight, you have to be in a caloric deficit, okay? You have to be eating fewer calories than you burn. Okay, there's no way around this. If you are a human, if you are an animal, you must obey the laws of thermodynamics. I'm sorry. We all have to, just like gravity, even if you don't like it. So that is how weight loss works. You have to be in a caloric deficit. So if I take in 2,000 calories and I burn 2,500 calories throughout the whole day, this is just a basic example, then I will be in a 500 calorie deficit. And there are 3,500 calories in a pound of fat, sorry. So if you are in a 500 calorie deficit each day, multiply that by 7, then that's 3,500 for the week, and you will lose 1 pound of fat. So that's generally where a good starting point for people, depending on your weight, is start with a 500 calorie per day deficit, lose a pound of fat per week. Do that for 8 to 12 weeks, you've lost 8 to 12 pounds. And then you stop. You do a maintenance period, which is where you just maintain your weight, which is very important. You don't want to just rebound back. So you stop losing weight after like 8 to 12 weeks, or longer if you have more weight to lose. It really depends. But yeah, that's how that works. I usually recommend either 0.5% or 1% of body weight lost per week. Okay, so say you're 200 pounds like me. 1% of 200 pounds is 2. Half of that 2 is 1. So for me, 1 to 2 pounds weight loss per week is a good goal. You can go on the high end of that if you want to go fast, on the low end if you want to go slow. I wouldn't usually recommend going much below that, just because progress is slower. It's not as motivating if you're not making progress. You're like, I'm dieting, but I'm only losing, a 1/4 pound a week. You're like, what am I doing here? I'm tracking all my stuff. I'm barely losing weight. It will be a little easier, but you're just not going to make a lot of progress. So I would recommend usually that 0.5% to 1% of weight loss per week. And then if you want to do faster than that, that's okay too, for short periods of time, especially if you got a lot of weight to lose. But you're going to risk things like muscle loss, you're going to risk feeling really bad. You're going to risk rebounding the faster you go. And those are all bad things. So you can do it in short periods of time, but I would generally recommend sticking around that 0.5% to 1% of body weight lost per week. And that's going to be for a 200-pound person, 1 to 2 pounds. So for a 150-pound person, a little less than that. For a 300-pound person, 1.5 to 3 pounds of weight loss per week. And then durations of weight loss. So the more weight you have to lose, the longer you can go. But I didn't know this at first when I was like 20 and trying to lose weight. I didn't know that there were like optimal durations for losing weight. I kind of just like dieted myself into the ground. So you should generally stop after 8 to 12 weeks, or at least take a break. Okay, this isn't a hard and fast rule. Like, again, if you have a lot of weight to lose, you can go a little longer than that, maybe 16 weeks before taking a break. But generally, 8 to 12 weeks is a good place to start, maybe 16, and then take a break. Take a diet break, take a maintenance break. This doesn't mean that you just eat whatever you want. You should still track, still eat healthy foods, still stay active, but just stop losing weight for a little bit. So if you want a simple rule, say do it for 12 weeks, lose a pound a week over those 12 weeks. So you lost 12 pounds, and then stop, take a break. You could take either a 2-week break where you don't lose weight, or you could take a 12-week break. Take a break equal to the amount of time that you were in a caloric deficit for. Kind of depends, but I would recommend taking some kind of break, just to give your body a break from that. So yeah, that's right. And then you can rinse or repeat. If you want to do more, if you want to lose more weight, you can do that again, and do that until you're where you want to be. So that is some basics about nutrition. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.